And this is the part of the show where we are in front of the whiteboard. Let's take a close look on how to write major and minor triads. So over here I'm going to write a D major triad without a key signature, and over here I'm going to write a D minor triad without a key signature. Then after that I'm going to show you how to label them with root quality chord symbols. So let's start. Let's start with a D major triad, and of course step one, as we learned at the piano, is to simply write the root, and the root of a D major triad is obviously D. The answer is in the name. Step number two is to write a major third above the root. Before we worry about whether it's major or minor, let's just write a third. So there's a third, and now we ask ourselves whether it's major or minor. We need a major third, so I can ask myself, what is the third note of a D major scale? And because I memorized my key signatures, we know the third note of a D major scale is F sharp. Okay, almost done. And lastly, step two is to write a perfect fifth on top of D, and let's write a fifth on top of D. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's A, and now let's double check and make sure it's a perfect fifth. What is the fifth note of a D major scale? A. Hooray. So that's that. This is a D major triad. Let's triple check. This is the root. F sharp is the third, and A is the fifth. So we have the three notes ready there, and the formula for major triads are major third and perfect fifth, and indeed D to F sharp is a major third, and D to A is of course a perfect fifth. Good for me. Let's write a D minor triad. Steps are almost the same, except the middle note is going to be a minor third instead of a major third. So step one, again, is to write the root. The root of a D minor triad is, again, D. Step number two is to write a minor third above D, not a major third. Let's first just write the third. I know F is approximately a third above D, D, 2, 3. Now let's figure out whether it's a major or minor third. I know that the third note of a D major scale is F sharp. So D to F sharp is a major third, and in order to get a minor third, I need to lower that F sharp by one semitone to get a minor third. And one semitone below F sharp would be F natural. And here it is. I don't even have to do anything. That is our minor third. And to finish this D minor triad, we have to write a perfect fifth above the root. That's step three. A perfect fifth above D, again, same thing as over here, is A. A is a fifth above D, and A also happens to be the fifth note of a D major scale, so it's a perfect fifth. Let's just write the labels down. So again, just like over here, D is the bottom note, D is the root of the triad. F natural in this case is the third of the triad, and again, A is the fifth of this triad. It's a really strange looking 5. But I'll trust you know that's a 5. And let's analyze the intervals. D to F is in this case a minor third, and D to A remains a perfect fifth. So D major triad, D minor triad, D is the root in both cases, the fifth is A in both cases, and the only difference between the two is the third. In the major triad, we get a major third, and in the minor triad, we have a minor third. Fairly straightforward. Now, let's get to the thing I couldn't teach you at the piano. Let's look at root quality chord symbols. Now, you might ask, how do I write a root quality chord symbol? And I will tell you that the answer is in the name. Root quality. Root quality chord symbols, first you start with the root, and then beside it you label the quality. Now, there are 4 different types of triads. There are major triads, minor triads, augmented triads, and diminished triads. For this lesson, because this video is for level 5 RCM students, we are only going to be looking at major and minor triads and labels. But let's write down all 4 just so you see. So in the future, you will know all 4 of these labels. Let's take a C major triad. A root quality chord symbol for a C major triad would just be a capital letter C. A root quality chord symbol for a C minor triad would be C little m. A root quality chord symbol for a C augmented triad would be a C plus. And then a root quality chord symbol for a C diminished triad would be C D I M. You'll learn about those hypothetically soon. We don't need these for today. Let's just focus on these. Again, root quality chord symbols are made up of a root and a quality. Let's look at C minor. The root of a C minor triad would be C. There's the root. And the quality of the minor triad is minor. So there's a little m. Major triads, C major, C is the root. And for major root quality chord labels, there's nothing that goes beside the root. You just leave it as a capital letter. So if you see a capital letter F, that would be the root quality chord symbol for F major. And if you were to see a capital letter D, that would be the root quality chord symbol for D major. And oh look, in front of me happens to be a D major triad. So let's write the root quality chord symbol, capital letter D. That's it. That is the root quality chord symbol of this. And it's important to remember root quality chord symbols always go above the staff, never below. Below the staff we write functional chord symbols, and we'll learn about that in a minute. And then of course, let's write a root quality chord symbol for our D minor triad. We need a root and a quality. The root of a D minor triad is D. That would be the root. And the quality is minor, so we would put a little m. I'm running out of space. Capital D, D major, D, and a little m stands for D minor. I think it's easy. Now let's look at what it means to write triads within a key signature. So there are 3 primary triads that we've learned over at the piano: the tonic triad, the subdominant triad, and the dominant triad. I might refer to them as the 1, 4, and 5 chord, and of course their roots are built on the tonic, subdominant, and dominant of whatever key we are in. Now on the whiteboard here in front of me, I've written an E major key signature. So we are going to be working in the key of E major for this section of the video. And over here I'm going to write the tonic triad of E major. In the middle I'm going to write the subdominant triad of E major, and over here I'm going to show you how to write the dominant triad of E major. Believe it or not, this is actually a little this is easier than when you have to add the accidentals in yourself, because the key signature does a lot of the work for us. So let's start with the tonic triad of E major. Step 1 is to figure out what is the root of the tonic triad of E major. The tonic of an E major scale is E. Therefore, the tonic of the 1 chord in an E major world is E. And there it is. So if we didn't have a key signature, the next steps would be to write a major third and a perfect fifth on top. Fortunately, we have a key signature in this case, so all we have to do is write a third and a fifth on top. And we can trust that the key signature actually takes care of the intervallic qualities for us. This happens to be a major third, and that's a perfect fifth, just by itself. So all we really needed to do was figure out the root, and we did it, and this is the tonic triad of E major. Over here, I will write the subdominant triad of E major. Remember from videos past, subdominant means 4. So, what is the root of the subdominant chord in E major? The root is the 4th note of E major. Let's figure out what the 4th note of E major is. E, F sharp, G sharp, A. The root of this triad is going to be an A, and I took that from E major. Here's an A. I will write that. This is the root of our triad. And again, if we didn't have a key signature, we would have to go major third, perfect fifth. But in this case, the key signature is going to do the work for us. All we have to do is create a nice looking snowman on top of the root. And this is the subdominant triad of E major, and over here I will write the dominant triad of E major. Dominant means 5. Let's figure out what the 5th note of an E major scale is. E, F sharp, G sharp, A, B. The dominant of an E major triad is B, so the root of the dominant triad of E major is also B. Here's a B, and again, we don't have to worry about the intervallic qualities. We can just write a 3rd above B and a 5th above B, and that's D sharp and F sharp. Let's look more closely at these. Let's go back and reassess what the root, 3rd, and 5th are. This is a note E, but in the context of this triad, it is the root. This is a G sharp, but in the context of this triad, it's the 3rd. That's a 3. And this is B, but in the context of this triad, it is the 5th. Root, 3rd, 5th, same thing. Root, 3rd, 5th. And same thing over here. Bottom note is the root, middle note is the 3rd, and F sharp is the 5th. Tonic triad of E major, subdominant triad of E major, dominant triad of E major. Great. Let's look at the functional chord symbols. What is a functional chord symbol? A functional chord symbol cannot exist without a key signature. We have one, this is E major. Functional chord symbols are always written below the staff, not above. That's where the root quality chord symbols go. So functional chord symbols are always going to be written here. And functional chord symbols are comprised of Roman numerals from Rome. This is a 1. This is a 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Apparently Romans could only count to 7, so that's as far as we have to go. I want you to pay attention to these 3. 1, 4, and 5. We wrote tonic, subdominant, and dominant, 1, 4, and 5. So these are the labels you're going to have to know for your grade 5 RCM exam. 1 goes with 1. This means tonic. So the functional chord symbol that you write below this is a capital letter 1. And we know that because we have a E major key signature nearby, that this 1 represents the tonic of E major. The root is E, that's all set. Subdominant triad means 4th, or means it's built on the 4th note of an E major scale. Let's grab the Roman numeral 4 over there. We have a line, a V, and then you can attach it like that. That's a capital letter 4. And then we have a capital letter 5 for the dominant over here. Now in your textbook, sometimes you'll see a V that looks like this. Don't write that, because your examiner won't be able to tell whether or not that is a lowercase v or an uppercase V. Make sure you take the extra effort and draw long lines on the top and the bottom of the V so you make it clear to your examiner that you know you're talking about capital letters. Why are capital letters important? When we have minor triads, you represent them with lowercase Roman numerals. And when we have major triads, we represent them with capital letter Roman numerals. Did I write major triads or minor triads here? Who knows? Let's find out. This is a major 3rd. This is a perfect 5th. I know that that is a major triad because major triads are made out of major 3rds and perfect 5th, and this is correct. It's a capital letter 1. Let's look over here. Is this a major triad or minor triad? Who knows? Let's find out. A to C sharp is a major 3rd, and A to E is a perfect 5th. That is indeed the formula for a major triad, so this is correct. Uppercase, capital letter Roman numeral 4. And the last one, is this a major triad or minor triad? B to D sharp happens to be a major 3rd, and B to F sharp happens to be a perfect 5th. So this is also correct. Here's a hint. If you're working with major key signatures, the 3 primary triads within that key signature will all turn out to be major. So you don't have to worry too much. If you're working in a major key, assume you're working with capital letter Roman numerals when writing primary triads. And to finish off today's lesson, let's look at tonic triads, subdominant triads, and dominant triads within a minor key. Here I've written 4 flats. That stands for F minor in our case right now. Let's here write the tonic triad of F minor. Here we're going to write the subdominant triad of F minor, and over here we are going to write the dominant triad of F minor. So step number 1 is to figure out the root. Let's start with the tonic triad of F minor. The tonic of the scale F minor is F. So the tonic triad of F minor is built on an F. F is the root. F. Okay. Now, again, the next steps for writing this would be to calculate the intervallic qualities, but the key signature takes care of it for us. Let's just write a third above F and then a fifth above F. This is the tonic triad of F minor. Let's go over here. Let's write the subdominant triad of F minor. Subdominant means 4. What is the 4th note of an F minor scale? F, G, A flat, B flat. So in this case, B flat is our root. We will write a B flat here. I don't even have to write a flat because it's already in the key signature. And all I have to do is write up a third, and that's fine. This is the subdominant triad of F minor. And now over here, I will write the dominant triad of F minor. Dominant means 5th note. So let's figure out what the 5th note of an F minor scale is. F, G, A flat, B flat, C. So the root of the dominant triad of F minor is C. C is our root. There it is. And then we will go up a third and up another third. Now listen closely to me. I have something very important to say. This is the dominant triad of a minor key. This is missing something. All the other times we've written triads today within key signatures, the key signature has taken care of most of the work for us. But in the case of dominant triads in minor keys, you have to remember to raise the leading tone, or else I will be upset and sad and crushed and disappointed. And any other negative adjectives you can conjure up in your mind immediately. Let's look here. What is the leading tone of F minor? Remember, so if you take an F minor natural scale, the 7th note is an E flat. That's the subtonic. What is the leading tone? Raise the subtonic by 1 semitone and we get an E natural. So right now, in the middle of my dominant triad is an E flat. That's the subtonic. It's not correct. We have to apply the harmonic minor scale to our dominant triads in minor keys and always include the leading tone. I'll say it one more time. Whenever you are writing a dominant triad in a minor key, the third of that triad is the key's leading tone and needs to be raised physically with your hand and pencil on the page. The key signature does not do it for you, as I have done here. Now, previously I showed you functional chord symbols. Let's look at those again. I'm just going to write a capital letter 1, I'm going to write a capital letter 4, and I'm going to write a capital letter 5. These were our functional chord symbols for tonic, subdominant, and dominant triads. Now, we are in a minor key and we are going to be seeing a lot more minor triads, which means we are going to need lowercase functional chord symbols. So, what's the lowercase of a capital I, a little I? This, when it's lowercase, looks like that, IV, and this one, when it's lowercase, looks like this. No lines across it. Let's analyze these three chords quickly and figure out whether they're major or minor, and then we will decide whether we are going to use capital letter Roman numerals or lowercase Roman numerals as the functional chord symbols. Let's start over here. Let's figure out whether this is an F major chord or an F minor chord. F to A flat. What's the third note of an F major scale? I know it's A. A flat is not A, it's one smaller. It's a semitone down from A. So one smaller than a major third is a minor third. This is a minor third, and I know F to C is a perfect fifth. So this is an F minor chord. I will write the root, I write the root quality chord symbol up here. So we can see it, F minor. Now we need a functional chord symbol. Are we going to use the capital letter 1 or the lowercase letter 1 to represent F minor? We are going to have to use the lowercase I, because lowercase symbols go with minor triads. This is a minor triad, lowercase 1. And now let's look at the subdominant triad of F minor. We have a B flat, D flat, and F. Let's figure out whether that's a B flat major triad or a B flat minor triad. So we will analyze this third, B flat to D flat. Is that a major third or a minor third? I know that the third note of a B flat major scale is D. This is not D, it's D flat, and D flat is one below D, so the interval got smaller. This is a minor third, and I also know that B flat to F is a perfect fifth. That is our minor triad formula. It happens to be a B flat minor triad. B flat is the root, and the quality is minor. There is our root quality chord symbol. Now down below, we're going to have to either choose capital letter 4 or lowercase letter 4. We will choose lowercase because lowercase is what we use for minor triads. So this symbol represents the subdominant triad of F minor. Now the last one and the most important one that I want you to pay attention to, again, is the dominant triad. And we have a dominant triad in a minor key, and I've had to physically raise the leading tone. Let's see what quality this triad turns out to be. C, E natural, G. C to G. What's the third note of a C major scale? It's E. So this happens to be a major third, not like these two. This is a major third, and C to G is a perfect fifth. This happens to be the formula for our major triads. The root is C, so the root quality chord symbol would be C, and we don't have to put anything beside that C because that's all we need for a major root quality chord symbol. And now, although we used lowercase functional chord symbols here, this is a C major triad. So instead of using our lowercase minor V, we are going to use a capital letter 5, Roman numeral 5. And that is how you label primary triads in minor keys. Once again, we'll go over the roots. The root is the bottom note, F is the root, A flat is the third, and C is the fifth. In this case, in the context of this B flat minor triad, B flat is the root, D flat is the third, and F is the fifth. In the context of this C major triad, C is the root, E is the third, and G is the fifth. All right, let's go over and look at your worksheet together, and we will continue to practice writing primary triads.